Okay, so my table's a mess right now, but this is what we got going on. This is a Grizzly with the inside of a buckle bag, and this is what Alex is using currently, a hammock just like this. And the straps he's got are kind of heavy, and he's using carabiners and cinch buckles on his suspension. And this Grizzly is made out of 1.6 ounce Hyper D, and the bug net's 0.9 ounce bug net. So and then the space it takes up, it won't compress much more than that. And if you kind of look at this as a guide here, these white squares, so that's about, inside of that's about how much it'll compress. So his new hammock is a Grizzly, just like that. It's in what's called a double-ended bishop bag, and it has all the straps are contained in this one side, and he's using first of all, let me show you the compressed with the compressed. So the other one compressed down to about right here, about right there, and this one will compress down almost half that size. So that's quite a bit of difference. I could have put this in a smaller stuff sack, but I know if you're out camping for a day or two and then it's time to pack up and you're trying to get everything back in your stuff sacks, backpack, whatever, nothing really wants to fit right, and it's a pain in the butt. And so if you imagine having to do that every day, sorry, I'm shaking the camera. Imagine having to do that every day for 5 months while he's out on his through hike, fighting with stuff sacks and all that other kind of stuff. So I made this stuff sack really big, you know, to really compress down. I made it big on purpose so every day when he has to do it, it'll just slide right in the bag. And then on this side, where his straps are contained, he's using instead of carabiners, he's using Evo loops. His continuous loops on his hammock, one of them is white and one of them is blue. So we made matching Evo loops for the straps. One's blue and one's gray. And then it's using the titanium beetle buckles on there to attach the continuous loop. It just slips over like that, and that's all you got to do. So this is a lot lighter and everything, and this is called a double-ended bishop bag because it looks like a double-ended bag, but it's actually, on this end, it's closed up like a bishop bag, and this allows you a place to carry your straps if they're wet or whatever else. They won't get on your hammock because it's still protected, but you're able to carry your straps and everything with them. And you can sit there and roll them up nice and neat, put them in, but there's plenty of room just to, like I just did, just crammed them and shoved them in there. So we take it outside. I'll show you the differences and everything. And this one of the things that's going to take up less room in this pack, and it's also going to save weight. So we'll take it outside. I'll show you what I did to save weight, and then we'll come back inside and weigh it. Okay, and one thing I forgot while before we head outside is building this to save the weight. It's going to be the exact same hammock, same features and everything as the other hammock, but it's going to be a lighter version of it. Building this lighter and to take up less space. The reason, and also when I said making the bag bigger so it stuffs away easier every day. The reason I'm doing all this is Alex is hiking the Appalachian Trail, which is over 2,000 miles. So, you know, any weight we can save off him having to carry for that 2,000 miles is going to make it better on him, because that's a lot of wear and tear on your body. So every ounce we can save will make it better. And the more space we can save in his pack, the more room he can put for food and all that kind of stuff in there. So, and I mentioned his name was Alex. Normally I don't mention the name of the customer, but I've been posting that he's on the trail and different places on the trail, and that we're building this hammock for him and everything. So his name is kind of already known if you follow our social media. So that's the only reason I'm mentioning his name. Okay, so first of all, this is one thing that's nice about having a Sil Poly stuff sack. It's waterproof, so laying it on the ground like this or something, if the ground is damp, it'll help you out. I'm going to show you down here low how these EVA loops work, because I've got a pretty screwed up shoulder right now, and if I can't really get my arm up high, so I'm going to show you down here. So what it does is it acts kind of like a carabiner, and then you could just take it, and there's this this opening right here. Slip this button knot right through, and then tighten it up, and then now it works just like a carabiner. Saves you the weight and everything, and you know, this has got a 2,500 pound strength on it. This Amstel Blue, this is 1/8 inch, and this strap, you could buy these beetle buckle straps with a little titanium Dutch clip that goes on there. It's shaped kind of like a C, and it just goes on and clips in place. That's the way my straps are. But one thing about it is he was kind of concerned about having that piece of metal in his pack, shoving it in with everything else, you know, the possibility of it tearing up something. And another thing, when I'm going camping, I prefer all of my gear as much as possible to have more than one use. So like this, if he needed some cordage, he could just untie this from that, and he could still use the strap, but he would just have to take the strap and run it through the eye and then pull it up there. So it's still usable, but this rope can serve another purpose if it needed to. So that's one thing I like about these EVA loops, is they serve more than one purpose. So I'm gonna get these straps hung up and then show you the rest of this stuff. So this is the hammock. As you can see, you might be able to see from here, you can see through the entire thing. I'm going to show you a closer up view of it here shortly. Right now, of course, anytime I get out here and film, it's windy, but I'll show you like when you get inside of it. So as you can see, it's completely see-through. As you can see, the hammock material itself is completely see-through, but I'm going to climb in there and show you the view from the inside. So as you can see, of course, you got the bug net up here, which you can see through. It's the sunlight's messing up the colors a little bit, but that's slate gray. And then the hammock body down here is Moroccan blue, and as you can see through the entire thing all the way around it. So that's pretty cool. So I'm able to see, you know, I can look right out there. Nothing to block the view. The hammock's completely see-through. And if you follow my channels and social media and stuff, you'll know that I don't lay in a customer's hammock. You know, they're getting a new toy, I want them to be the first one to play with it. But in this case, Alex knew that this is a brand new material. It's called Cloud 71. It's by Dutch Gear. They make this, and I have a hammock out of similar material called Monolite, and I just wanted to see the difference. This is the first time I've ever had one that I could even see the material. So he let me lay in it, check it out and everything. That's why I'm in this one, and I normally don't. But it's got all the same stuff, like the hooks and stuff on the inside to hang different accessories and stuff, book bag, ridgeline, I mean a side organizer and all that kind of stuff. All these are in here. But one of the things that we did to make it lighter was we took instead of having them all the way here on the head end on both sides and on the foot end on both sides, we just we didn't put the ones on the foot end, so each one of them saves a little bit of weight. And then see what else we did. This material, the hammock that he's currently using is Hyper D 1.6 ounce material. It means it weighs 1.6 ounces per square yard. This Cloud 71 material weighs 0.71 ounces per square yard. So that's cutting the hammock of the weight of the body and pretty much in half right off the bat. This bug net material, we usually use a 0.9 ounce bug net material, meaning it weighs 0.9 ounces per square yard. This is 0.50 ounce no CM netting, so that's almost cutting it in half on that. And wait for the spike to go by. So another thing we did is it's got a full zipper on the right side, and then on the back side, on this left side over here, we only put a partial zipper, and I'll show you that better when I get outside. But we just put the partial zipper on there to save weight. If you can save some more weight by just putting a zipper on one side and sewing it solid on the other. But when you're using an underquilt and stuff, if you can't reach out on that other side to get the adjust your underquilt or whatever, if it needs pulled up a little bit, if you can't reach out on that side, it's a real pain. So having a zipper on here, you know, this is not something, if you got a hammock or a tent or any piece of equipment you're using for a night or two and there's little hassles to it, yeah, you can kind of deal with it. But 2,000 miles for that he's hiking, and all the way from Georgia to Maine, he's going to be spending every night for about 5 months in this hammock. So you want it, any little hassle is going to be a very big hassle a couple weeks or a month into it, you know. So we went ahead and in talking with him while we were planning the design of this hammock, went ahead and put a partial zipper on the other side so that he could reach out very easily if he needs to put on adjust his underquilt or whatever, or maybe just something random thing out there he needs to get out on that side. Reach out on that side. You can't get out on that side, but just to reach out there. The zippers that we did use for the full zipper and for that is a number 3 zipper. We usually use a number 5 zipper. The number 5 zipper is the teeth themselves are a little bit bigger, and the zipper pulls, the zipper tabs are a little bit bigger too. Number 3 zipper is about 1 gram per foot lighter than the number 3. So we did that. And another thing, the ridgeline up here, I don't know if you can see it. I can't move my arm up that high. So I'll show you when we get outside. But the ridgeline, we made that lighter by just putting, instead of using a 7/64 inch am steel, we used a Zing-It. The 7/64 inch am steel has a 1,600 pound weight limit. This Zing-It ridgeline has a 600 pound weight limit on it, so it's still pretty strong. And the toggles, since you can only open up one side of this, we normally have full zippers on both sides, and we put toggles up on top so you could roll it up, and then there's a toggle for each side. Well, since we can only roll up one side of this hammock, we decided to just have a toggle on this side, up here and then down at the foot end. So cutting the toggles in half saves some weight, going with lighter zippers saves some weight, not putting the hooks and stuff down at the foot end saves some weight. Of course, the material for the hammock itself and the bug net saved a lot of weight. And whenever I weigh these things, one thing, when I compare the weight to a hammock similar to what he's currently using in this, keep in mind that the hammock he's currently using and the one that I'm going to weigh is got a 12-foot tree strap, a pair of 12-foot tree straps. These have 15-foot straps on them, so it's got 6 feet total length, 3 foot per strap of extra strap, but this is still going to come out lighter. I'm stalling here. I'm hanging out in the hammock, so just bear with me. So the one thing people ask, why do you need a 12-foot strap or something like that? I always carry at least a 12. because if you get a pretty good sized tree, by the time you wrap around that tree, you'd be surprised how much tree strap it will eat up. If you're not used to, you know, hammock camping and stuff, you'll be surprised. And with him going through 14 different states on his trip, he wasn't, you know, he just wanted to make sure that he's going to have enough strap if he came across a place where he had to set up with really big trees and everything. And then if at some point he decides, you know, I don't really need a 15-foot strap, I can cut 3 or 4 feet off of this, all he's got to do is just cut the end of the strap off, and, you know, no big deal, and save him a few more ounces that way. But so this material, for the people that are curious about the Cloud 71 material versus the monolite, I don't know, I can't really decide. It's smoother on your skin, I think, to me. I think everybody else says the monolite has more stretch. I never noticed that, and I thought maybe just because I'm a pretty lightweight person, I only weigh about 140 pounds, thought maybe that was why. But I actually, when I first got in this thing and just first sat down, I thought this had more stretch in it than the other one, but I don't know. So anyway, I had to get out of this thing whether I want to or not, and it's pretty cool though, man. I can see, you know, like if there's a mountain lion walking up there to eat me, I can just look out there and say, hey, mountain lion, leave me alone. So he can't sneak up on me. And dang it, I gotta get out of here. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here and finish the rest of this video. Okay, so a couple things on this. So we got the toggles up here. There's one there and one down there. The wind's blowing them all around, so that way you can unzip this and get it out of the way like our other ones. We got the pull tabs. They're the same way on the inside. These are reflective and elastic. They're the same way on either side. This here is something, oh come on wind, cooperate. So this is something that I was kind of hesitant about, is the stitching. So this outside row of stitching is where I hemmed the hammock. This inside gray one is where I sewed the hammock material to the zipper. I always want to put at least 2 rows of stitching on that. So I did. It's a darker blue. There, you can see it right there. And then this is what I was really hesitant about. Same thing. This outer row of stitching is where I hemmed the bug net. The inner row of stitching is where I sewed the bug net to the hammock, to the zipper. So I always put the zigzag stitch on for some reinforcement, and then because I don't want, if you just got this one line of stitching and something snags on it, something whatever, and it rips, then now you got bugs getting in there and your bug net's totally useless. So I always put the zigzag stitch on there, but normally the bug netting is black and I'm using black thread and it's not really noticeable. And so on this one, this is the closest match for thread that I could find, and I was really kind of hesitant about doing it because it just kind of stands out to me, you know. And but the last thing I wanted to do is he's going to be using this every day for 5 months or more, is to go cheaper on the way I build it, and not price wise, but just I always put the zigzag for reinforcement. So to build a hammock for somebody who's going to be in it for every day for 5 months, I couldn't skimp on the reinforcements and all that kind of stuff. So I went ahead and put it on there and talked to him about it. It actually looks kind of cool now, you know, seeing it hanging up and everything. It's not as bad, but it does stand out, so it kind of sucks. Put our name tag. Oh, where'd we go? There it is. Put our name tag on the outside of the hammock here. Normally I have it on the inside down here, so it's there, but it's kind of subtle and not obnoxious. But he was saying, you know, hey man, get some promotion for your company and everything, you know, put the stuff out there where people could see it. So I did. These are for the Ursa system, these plastic D-rings and the carabiners. It's got underquilt hooks. Now we did put the upper and lower underquilt hook on the head end, both sides, and the foot end of both sides. Couldn't really save any weight here. So this hammock is sewn down to the net here, and then also here you can see there's 2 rows of stitches, but if you look close, there's that 3rd row in there in the in between. No club right between, but anyway, there's a 3rd row that kind of matches the material, just to make it a little bit extra stronger. And then when I came back here on this zipper, same thing as the other side. I put that reinforcement there just to make sure I don't want any failures. So on this is the partial zipper. I thought about just having a zipper that only had this tab, that only had this pull tab on one side, on the inside, because that way you can reach out to adjust your underquilt or whatever. But I don't want to. I was thinking, you know, okay, what if he's standing out here on this side of the hammock and he wants to reach in the hammock to get something or to put something in there, and now if there's no pull for the zipper on this side, he's got to go around the other side and, you know, get whatever he needed or whatever. So I went ahead. I mean, I was trying to save weight on as much stuff as I could, but this was worth the extra. I don't even know if it'd measure a gram. We were also looking at what we should do for the partial zip. I was thinking of a zipper more up here next to the shoulder, maybe, I don't know, 12-15 inches. But then if you get the hammock, like you're laying in the hammock, and say the underquilt's kind of hooked up underneath your heel there of your foot, then if you can only reach out way up here by your shoulder, it's going to be kind of hard to get that underquilt pulled out the way it's supposed to. So what we did was a partial zipper is we went from this tie out to this tie out, and then that also gave some reinforcement. The zipper material and gross gain and stuff gave some reinforcements for us to put the tie outs onto. So now got the zipper that long, he could definitely do anything he needs to do, but then we saved the weight. It's about 1/3 of the normal zipper size because it's not going all the way up to the head end and all the way up to the foot end. So we cut out quite a bit of zipper and saved some weight on that. And the zipper here, there's only one, there's not 2 like on the other side. The 2, you can open it either way, but this only opens one way. It opens from the head to the foot end. You can reach in there, reach out of there, do whatever you need to do, and then bring it back up. No sense in wasting a second zipper there to have them go either way, because you're not going to be reaching out there very much. This wind, man, this wind is not cooperating at all. But anyway, that's what we did. I'll show you these carabiners. I mean, not carabiners, these are the beetle buckles. See, that's how simple it is. The continuous loop just slips over that. And let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I can do it with my hand. Anyway, you can see it just slips over that hook, and that's all you got to do. These have holes in them because the idea is, like, say me and my wife wanted, because these are the straps we use, but say me and my wife wanted to hang right beside each other, hang between the 2 trees. They make a little spreader bar that clips in here to, like, the head end of my hammock and then the head end of her hammock, and it keeps the hammocks away from each other a little bit so that you can share the same 2 trees but not be on top of each other. So we could have saved weight. We didn't have to put the plastic, that's part of the Ursa system that holds the underquilt and all that kind of stuff, and then the extra carabiners and all that stuff. We could have saved the weight on all that, but and I could have shaved off a lot of this other stuff and saved a lot of the weight, but we were looking for function, and he uses these. They really do help with the underquilt to hold that up. So, at the head end and foot end, if it's getting a little bit of air and stuff, you can clip them up here, and so that's really something useful. So to save that couple grams, to shave them off, when it's something that he likes and he uses. That's kind of stupid for us to do that. So we put them on there. My point is, this could be a lighter hammock, you know. It's saving. We could have taken off the toggles, could have shaved off the D-rings and stuff like that. We could have not put a partial zipper on the other side. We didn't have to put the tie outs. We could have got by. Like, this underquilt hooks works better if you're using a 3/4 inch underquilt. This one works better if you're using a full length underquilt. So he could switch, you know. This summer he might decide he wants a 3/4 length and everything. So I wanted it to be functional and versatile, but save weight. So, and I think we did a pretty good job with that, coming out with the middle. And one more thing here, you could see it here on this. Well, now you can't. But head in, we got this little pocket that goes in here, and that's able to store stuff. I got wrapped wrong zipper. That way you're able to store stuff in there. I like it because you can keep a piece of tenacious tape and some screen repair up there in your hammock, and they're there all the time. You don't have to worry about, oh, I left it at home or whatever. You just keep them in your hammock. You don't have to worry about it. These things are hanging down really low right now. The wind's got this hammock all off kilter and everything, but these actually are up here. Just wanted to point that out in case he or anybody else says anything about it. But that's it. So I want to show you this real quick. Now that I got both hands free, this is a titanium beetle buckle, and that you continue to sleep on your hammock. That's all you gotta do. Take that, and I see I got these two pieces together. Just stick it over there. Bam, done. It doesn't get any easier than that. Okay, so I got the tie outs off. Got the tie outs off. Now I'll show you. Like I said, I made this stuff sack bigger so it'd be easier to pack away. It doesn't get much easier than that. And then you can leave that hang while you're undoing the other straps or whatever else around camp, or you can just unhook it and you're good to go. And now this side, like I said, this end of the hammock is like a bishop bag. It's all closed off to protect the hammock, and then I just take the straps and put them in this pouch here. And like I said, just compresses down quite a bit, or if he puts it in his pack and puts other stuff on top of it, it'll smash down pretty good. I leave this continuous loop out. This one here you can decide to leave out or not. The one thing is you want to make sure you know which end is the head end. With this, the head end's blue, so if you see the white one, you know the other end's the head end. Plus, the head end is on the same side with the small pouch for the straps, so you know that too. So let's go in and weigh this beast, and you could tell a difference by picking this up compared to the other one. But let's go in and weigh this thing and see what we ended up doing, how much weight we ended up saving him. And just for the record, I'm going to make some people mad, but that's the truth. Most people, if it's a healthy young grown man talking about cutting their toothbrush in half to save weight and all that kind of stuff, and doing this and doing that to save weight, and wanting me to build a hammock or something that you're risking it breaking just because you're trying to save every single gram that you can, it's not my thing, man. I do not do that. And it's very hard when you got that young healthy grown man talking about wanting to save 2 grams. I get it, ounces equals pounds and pounds equals pain. Been in the Army, I know what it's like humping a heavy rucksack, but it's hard for me to have sympathy for a grown young healthy man trying to shave 3 grams and off of whatever gear. It's hard for me to I have to bite my tongue so I don't just say, well, I think you just need to go to the gym and toughen up a little bit. But in this case, he's walking 2,000 miles. The wear and tear on your body over that long of a period of time, yes, every ounce is going to count. So I was definitely happy to build him something lighter than what he was using before. He's using one of our hammocks, but he bought it before he decided to do the Appalachian Trail. So but yeah, if you want a super lightweight, I mean to the point you're using just weak stuff to make the, it's not really strong enough to hold, or it's not durable enough to hold. If you're wanting that super light stuff, you might try to find somebody else to build it, because I want my stuff to hold up. And if I can't find that compromise of durable but shaving some weight off, then I won't do it, because I'm not going to build a hammock for somebody that just to shave weight, he gets it out there and uses it 3 days and it breaks. Then they're online screaming, oh, MCN hammock sucks. I asked him to use a piece of thread to hold my tree straps, instead of tree straps, because I wanted to save 2 grams and the thread broke. That's why I don't do that. There's other people if you want to do that kind of stuff. Okay, so now let's check out the weights, see what we ended up saving him. So this is the original, gotta turn this, sorry about that. Okay, so this is the original hammock. This is what he's currently using, and it weighs 2 pounds and 1.5 ounces. And then that's a total of 33.5 ounces. So 2 pounds, 1.50 ounces. Let's see what his new hammock weighs. And both of these bags have the suspension and straps and stuff in them too. £1 pound, 2.40 ounces. So we came really close to shaving off an entire pound off of that thing. Went from 33 ounces to 18.40 ounces. I mean, that's almost a pound of weight off of that thing, and that's a pound of weight he will not have to carry for 2,000 miles. So I think it's definitely worth it. It's going to make a pretty big difference. Plus all the weight, the space saving inside the backpack. So anyway, this is your hammock, man. It's heading out real soon. Going to meet up with you on the trail. The hammock is. I unfortunately can't, but I hope you enjoy it, man. Give me some feedback on what you think about it. I think one thing I forgot to mention is this hammock material, the Cloud 71 from DutchWearGear.com, has a rating of 225 pounds. Just wanted to throw that out there. And you can go onto their website to look up more information about the material itself. That would be DutchWearGear.com.